anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed.
Happy birthday to you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Happy birthday to you. Odogunwa Igbo niile jemu, the savior of Igbo land. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Happy birthday to you.
Welcome. Share the video as you're joining. Share the video. Let us wish Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a happy birthday. Share on your platform. Share any place you belong. Share to family and friends. Let's wish our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a happy birthday.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu igadila ifama meki mancha Igbo niile na ndị nọ n'ekpere Biafra niile na-ekpekwa n'oke pele ijecha dị ekemata igejikwa mmeri wenata n'elu Happy birthday to you.
Welcome. Share the video. Keep sharing. Share to family and friends. Share to our enemies. We are wishing our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a happy birthday.
Many more years to you. Many more years to you. If I'm a making my job,
share the video on your platform. Share to family and friends. Keep sharing. Let us wish our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a happy birthday. Raise a rose for him. This rose is for our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The rose is for him. Love him and we'll continue to love him.
I'm wishing you many more years. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much for joining. Any place you are joining from, if you are joining from Biafra land, or if you are joining from any part of the world, you are joining from Asia, from Europe, from America, from Australia, whichever part of the world you are joining from, I say may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect you and secure you. Please share the video in your platform. Share it any place you belong. Share to families and friends. Share. Let people hear our voice and hear and celebrate with us as we are celebrating our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. When we talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Supreme Leader of IPOB, the leader of the Biafran people, the Ahmadike of Igbo land, is not somebody that needs introduction. Anybody in the planet Earth today that doesn't know about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must shake him or herself. You must shake yourself. It means you are not on this planet. Everybody on the planet Earth today knows about our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the symbol of justice in the Zoological Republic. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today has become the symbol of justice. A man who has given everything for you and I, the Biafran people. If you are a Biafran, not only for the Biafran, for all the indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria, in extension for all the black race, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is committed for justice. He is committed to restore hope, to restore justice, to make sure that every black man has a say. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not only fighting for his own tribe, the Igbo Biafrans. He's not fighting only for the Biafran people. He's not only fighting for the Southerners. He's not only fighting for the other tribes. He's fighting for every indigenous tribe in the contraption called Nigeria, in extension to the whole black race. This is a man that we are all celebrating today. Today is his birthday. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw the attack against his own people, the intimidation, the marginalization, the death that the Zoological Republic have brought upon his people, and he says no. After going through and seeing through what has happened in the past, and he saw that the war has continued upon Biafran people. The attack has continued upon Biafran people from all angles, from all corners. Biafran people have continued to lose their life, even after they have lost their life during the civil war, fought for 3 years against the whole world powers, and they succeeded. They survived. After 3 years, they survived, and they're still waxing strong. And they continued, the intimidation continued, the killing continued. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board, and he said no. After our eternal leader has fought the battle and fought to redeem the Biafran people, he fought and fought and fought on different fronts for 3 good years against the world powers. And at the end of the day, they said is no victor, no vanquish. And our eternal leader played his role, and later on, Wazirike came on board. He fought and fought until when he was being confused and he was bought over, and then our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board. Since our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board, his way has been consistency. His watchword has been consistency. Consistency has been his key word, and he has been very, very consistent from the day one up to this minute that we are celebrating his birthday. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board. He started by asking for the freedom of every indigenous person in the country of Nigeria, wanting the Zoological Republic of Nigeria to put things right. He didn't just start to begin to fight for Biafra. He began to fight for every person in that country of Nigeria. The protest he made in London is still out there. You can go and search online. You will see the protest that our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made in London on behalf of the Nigerian people, asking the government to put it right, asking the government to secure people in the northern part of Nigeria, asking government to make sure that the life of the people in the contraption called Nigeria matters. But what did they do? They never listened. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cried and cried and cried, he saw that they were not listening. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now decided to focus on his own region. Focus on his own region, which is this old southeastern region, the Biafran region. And he began to ask for the self-determination of the Biafran people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu began his message to sensitize the Biafran people. When he started this message, people were not listening, including his own people, his own tribe, the Igbo Biafrans were not ready to listen. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu continued to broadcast, continued to preach, continued to talk to people. He didn't use any weapon. He wasn't forcing people. He was only bringing facts, giving us information that we need to know. Ohamadike came out after many years of messaging. Biafrans got the message. The Biafrans got the message, and they came out in mass, and they began to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the struggle. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the only thing he's asking is referendum, self-determination through referendum for his own people to go their separate ways so that they can grow at their own speed. And every other indigenous tribe will be on their own and grow at their own speed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has never called for war at any point in time. He was never calling for war. All he was asking for is self-determination through a referendum. Self-determination through a referendum. That's what he was asking for on behalf of his people. And the request Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was making is not out of place. It is something that is supported by international law, something that is supported by African chartered law, something that is supported by Nigerian law itself, supports self-determination. But what did they do? They never listened to him. Instead, they came after him. They came after Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with all manner of propaganda, including his own people, people he loved, people he was fighting for, came after him. They called him different kinds of names. Some called him a scammer, some called him a criminal, some called him different kind of one manner of name they called him. There is no kind of name they didn't call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stood his ground, and he continued to preach that message. He continued to preach the gospel. He continued to sensitize people. He preached and preached and preached and preached and preached until everybody came on board, and people saw reason why they should listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Today is a different ball game. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't stop at talking to Biafran. He went ahead to begin to sensitize every indigenous tribe in the country called Nigeria, mainly our Ududua brothers. Initially, when he started a message, some people misunderstood him. They called him ethnic bigot. Some say he's insulting. Some say he's shouting. Some call him different kinds of names. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was passing a message. As a black person, you know, black people will never listen until when you go with them hard. When you hit hard on black people, that's the only time they listen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu took the pain of speaking on Radio Biafra. He was speaking. He broadcast more than a decade. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was able to reach out to everybody, and people began to see reason why the indigenous people in the contraption called Nigeria should go for a referendum, why they should have self-determination. Our Ududua brothers came on board and they began to ask for self-determination. Biafrans are asking for self-determination. The Middle Beltans are coming on board. Everybody was asking for self-determination. Even as we speak, there is a case of self-determination in the court in the Zoological Republic. It was only when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board that those was possible. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave that boldness, gave that strength to so many people. So many of us that are talking boldly online today, we are speaking and talking because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and no other person. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave us that courage to come out and demand for our rights, demand for our freedom. He gave us that courage to come and fight for our freedom. And most of us came out and we are fighting and speaking out. Even in the Zoological Republic, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave them that gut to come out and begin to ask for restructuring and the change of the constitution. Initially, remember their watchword. The watchword in the Zoological Republic initially is that the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That is their watchword. They say it and read it. You dare not talk about anything restructuring. You dare not talk about restructuring. You dare not talk about changing the constitution in the Zoological Republic. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu turned everything around. And today, even in their House of Assembly, you see people asking for restructuring openly. You see people demanding for the change of the constitution. You see people speaking boldly in all angles. In their national television, you see people coming out to challenge the authority. It wasn't possible before. These are the great work of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the Ohamadike of Igbo land. But what did they pay him with? With all the good job that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu do, fighting for justice. Fighting for justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wasn't going for war. He wasn't fighting against anybody. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for justice. Instead of giving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu justice, what did they do? They come against him. They fought against him. They used even his own brothers and sisters. They were fighting him. People who speak the same language with him were fighting. People who were eating the same table were fighting him. They were using different kind of attack against him. First of all, they arrested him the first time, which everyone know. They arrested him when he landed in Nigeria. They held him. After the court have said let him go, they refused to let him go. And at the end of the day, when they let him go and granted him bail, he was supposed to be coming to courtroom and hear his case. He was ready, very much ready to come and hear his case in the court. He even made an announcement that he was coming to Abuja with 1 million men on his court day. They couldn't wait. They couldn't wait. They couldn't bear it. The political group who call themselves, who are supposed to protect him, the politicians in Biafra land who are supposed to protect him, they went to him to talk to him about the issue of Nigeria. And they told him, let us fight for restructuring. That was what they brought to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Their political solution. They brought it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them, there is nothing bad if you want to go for your restructuring. But I have to see your restructuring before I will drop the self-determination for my people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them, I am not going to stop you for going for restructuring. Go for restructuring. If you can be able to get your restructuring, I will step down. If you are able to get restructuring, I look at it, then we begin to consider dropping the issue of self-determination. He gave them the option. But instead of these politicians, these people who are still giving their false promise today, instead of them going for that restructuring, what did they do? They went back and connived together and brought python dance to take the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Please share this video to all platforms. Share this video any place you belong. Keep on sharing. Let people hear and join us to celebrate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's a special day for him. He deserves it. Today, in fact, is supposed to be a public holiday for the Biafran people to celebrate the man who has given it all for all of us. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there fighting for us, these people came together. They brought war upon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Python dance in the home of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to take his life. Who were those that signed the python dance? It was his own people, his kingsmen, Biafran people, governors from the southeastern part of Nigeria came together to take the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu simply because he was asking for the freedom of his people. He has not committed any crime. He didn't steal money from anybody. He never embezzled any money. He never did anything wrong. All he was asking is self-determination for his people. They came together and they decided to go and take his life. They brought python dance upon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And in the process of the python dance, many Biafrans lost their life. Thousands lost their life. In the home of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in particular, 28 able men were mowed down in his home. Jack, the dog, was killed. It didn't stop there. The parents of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu died because of the python dance that was held in their home. The palace of the king was destroyed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not only escaped death, we couldn't see him for a year plus until he resurfaced in Israel. And when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out, he continued to ask for self-determination for his people, referendum for his people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never asked for war. He never asked for the destruction of anybody. He was asking for self-determination and revealing information of things that we're supposed to know. But what did they do? They couldn't still hold it. They couldn't hold it. They failed to kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped through the grace of Chukwu Kabiam, and he continued to fight for us. He was there broadcasting, talking. They couldn't hold it. They still connived together and planned again. People who were eating with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people who are supposed to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people who are supposed to stand by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, joined the saboteurs, joined the enemies to sell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They sold him out. All of a sudden, we wake up one day and we heard that our supreme leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is now in Nigeria. All of us were surprised. It was a big blow to every Biafran. We woke up to hear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in Nigeria, in the hand of the DSS. We were asking questions. For good 8 days, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was held in Kenya. They went to Kenya, all the way to Kenya, and kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, held him for good 8 days. The grace of Chukwu Kabiam hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He was able to survive that 8 days. And all we did, we saw him in Nigeria. And that was where the tragedy now began. And that is where we are up to today. Since then, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in the arms of the enemies. He has been in the hand of the enemies. Even when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have come to court, he has never changed his word. He remained consistent. Consistency personified. He has always continued to say that it is either Biafra or nothing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even while he was already said that he's going to bring down the zoo with his microphone, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have never fired a shot. He never fired a shot. He never declared war. All he was asking, self-determination for his people. But the enemy could not hold it. The enemy could not stand the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They kidnapped him and they held him. Since then, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been in the net of the enemies. And we have been fighting from all angles, making sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out. But it's so sad that people who were supposed to stand for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have committed his life for, people who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave his own life for, who are supposed to protect him, they are the one today selling him out. Instead of building on the foundation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, they are the ones fighting people who are making sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets his freedom. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, since he has been held in captivity, remains consistent in his word. It is Biafra or nothing. The last time we heard him speak in court, he told us that Biafra must come. Nobody can stop the coming of Biafra. And he told us, he gave us the charge to protect the Biafran people, not to kill Biafran people. He told us, protect Biafran people, not to kill Biafran people. But what do we see? The Nzama people, the Nzama saboteurs that have been sacked from IPOB today. What are they doing? They focus on demonizing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They focus on destroying every legacy of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They have removed the word consistency in their word. They are never consistent in anything. Never consistent in anything. They say one today and tomorrow they are saying, even as we are now struggling and fighting to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released, they are busy fighting their fellow brothers and sisters, making sure that their brothers and sisters never make wave. But that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom Chukwukabiyama gave us, is not just a leader, but a spiritual one at that. And before ever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, he was able to anoint somebody. He anoints somebody through his messages, through his words about the person. And today, we have a spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the spokesperson of Biafra. And he has been holding that flag. Holding that flag. Continue to build on the foundation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the saboteurs are not relenting. They are fighting him on different fronts, pushing him right, left, and center, making sure that he doesn't stand. But because Chukwukabiyama chose him, no man born of a woman can stop him. Today, they have been trying different kinds of propaganda, telling different kinds of lies against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, fighting those who are fighting for the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he talks about his freedom, when we have all known, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he's talking about his own freedom, he's talking about the freedom of Biafra. And it is only Biafra, the coming of Biafra, that will give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu freedom. Only the coming of Biafra will give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu freedom and nothing else. But today, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Instead of those who will fight along with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to fight along with him, they are fighting against him. They are making sure that he's not released. Those who are fighting openly to make sure he's being released, to make sure that Biafra comes, so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have that freedom that he desires. People are fighting against them, speaking against them. They bring several propaganda against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Several lies against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Telling us how good he is, telling us how healthy he is. How can you be healthy in the hand of the enemies? Our spokesman gave that instruction from the from day one. Our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Ekpa, said it. Don't come and tell us how good Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing in the DSS, because there is nobody who will be in the hand of the enemy and be doing good. Nobody will be in the hand of the enemy, mainly an arch-enemy like the Zoological Republic, and you'll be doing. It's not possible. But they were painting everybody, painting everything good, trying to confuse the Biafran people, trying to demoralize Biafran people, trying to make Biafra to overlook Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's issue. They were trying to drive the attention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, people from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, telling us how good he is, that he's much more healthier than us. What a lie. But thank Chukwukabiyama, today, everything that is hidden is in the open. You saw the lawyer came out to be able to cry out about the condition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the latest one we have had. And yet, it is worse than we are hearing. If not for the grace of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you'll be hearing a different thing. If not for the grace of Chukwukabiyama, if not for the grace of Chukwukabiyama, the grace that Chukwukabiyama placed upon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you'll be hearing a different story. Today, you are hearing from the lawyers that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ill. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they don't feed him. They deny him food. They deny him everything. Already we know they deny him clothing. From the very first day he was kidnapped, today he's wearing one cloth. Who cares? Who identified that? It was only the spokesperson of Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa, who was able to identify that the one cloth that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was wearing to come to court in those days wasn't right. But all of us, everybody kept silent, including myself. I was thinking that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made the choice for himself. Not until the spokesperson of Biafra came and made the statement he made and warned that that clothes must be changed. An attempt was made to change the clothes and discovered that they have stopped him from changing clothes. Up to today, his glasses have not been given to him. They have not been able to allow him to change his clothes. They didn't allow him to see his doctors. His feeding has not been constant. Everything has just been wrong. And somebody will come and tell you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is doing well. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in good spirits. He's stronger than you. What a lie. A lie from the pit of hell. A wicked lie. And it is so much hurting and paining that the person that tells the lie is somebody who is supposed to protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the last drop of her blood. But today she has sold out. And we can see from her statement, she has joined the enemy to stab Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to mock Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS. But it doesn't matter what they do. We cannot leave our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama that today the struggle is in the hand of somebody who is very, very consistent. I thank Chukwu Okike Abiama. Chukwu Okike Abiama himself has chosen another person for the Biafran people. He chose another person for us. And today, somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa is building on the foundation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I say it all the time that every single thing that Simon Ekpa is saying, doing today, are foundations led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu put on the ground. But the people who claim to be close to him, people who claim to be this and that, who were close to him, who were supposed to carry out those missions, they refused to carry it out, they dropped it, and they follow a different agenda. They were busy chasing shadows. But Mazi Simon Ekpa, being that Chukwu Okike Abiama have chosen him through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu anointed him. When he called him out on 3 occasions, he anointed him. And that anointing kicked off while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped. Until today, he is standing firm. Standing firm. Very, very consistent. And as we are moving, 2023, no man born of a woman can stop the coming of Biafra. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be free, even before then. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to be free, even before then. 2023, the absolute and total freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No man born of a woman can stop it. It doesn't matter what you do. You like it, you hate it, you agree, you don't agree, believe, you don't believe. That is your personal business. It doesn't concern. We Biafrans today, we are focused. We are very, very consistent and focused on what we want. And we know what we want. All we want is our freedom. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said. Our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave us that charge. He gave us that charge to fight for our freedom. And our freedom we must fight for. Today is a special day for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I brought these rules for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I brought these rules for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to show the love I have for him. Every one of us have to celebrate this man. A man who has given everything for you and I. The question for you today is that what are you doing to see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is freed? Ask yourself that question. Today that we are celebrating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, ask yourself, what are you doing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Check yourself again. Every single thing you have been doing since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, are they contributing to the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or they are contributing to the detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Ask yourself that question before you continue whatever you are doing. Ask yourself, what have you done since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kidnapped? Even to post the video, to share video, even to share video, even to share picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What have you done to show your own participation on the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What? It is so painful that today the wave have come to blow so many people away. The wave have come today to blow so many people away. A man that have given everything, every single thing that he has, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing. As he stands today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has nothing. The only thing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has is Biafra. He has nothing, but he has everything. He has no material thing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have lost his family. He lost his parents. He lost his kingship. He's not with his family. He's not with his wife and children. He's not pursuing any of his careers. He's in solitary confinement for you and I. He has lost everything because of the Biafran, because of his own people to be free. Because of the freedom of his own people. And you, that he is fighting for and willing to die for, what are you doing? What are you doing to see that he's been freed? Ask yourself, what are you doing? Every single thing you want to ask yourself, what contribution have you made to see that this man is released? When you ask yourself that question and answer it rightly, then you know where you stand. If you have not done anything, you start doing something. You start doing something. You see, I appreciate my brothers and sisters in Biafra land who are sitting at home. The sit at home still remains a stamp on the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to make the whole world see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never ever be forgotten. I thank every Biafran who is participating in that sit at home and continue to participate until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is freed. But ask yourself, you that doesn't support the sit at home, those of you who has been fighting against the sit at home, you are fighting against the sit at home. Some of you, those of you who are fighting against this at home, ask yourself, what is your intention? If the Biafran people stop sitting at home, how are you going to let the world and the people talk about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What plan and strategy do you have to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Nothing. You are busy promoting your own personal agenda. You are busy planning how to dupe Biafran people. You are busy trying how to force people to obey your command and control. Even when you know that the man that put in place that command and control, the man that put it in place, today is in the hand of the enemy. And he put it in place for a good reason, a good purpose. And that same man that put that command and control, you first of all disobeyed him. The order he gave, you disobeyed it. You disobeyed his order. And yet you want Biafrans to obey you. Did you think that that was how he rose to where he is? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not rise to whom he is today by forcing people to love him or to obey him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did not become Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because of command and control. No. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu earned every single respect he has. He earned it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu earned his respect from every single person he met. He earned his respect. He earned his respect from the Biafran people, earned his respect from the Dudua people, earned his respect from Middle Belt, earned his respect from every indigenous tribe in that Zoological Republic. Every indigenous, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu earned his respect from them. He never forced them to follow him. All he did was to stand on the truth and be consistent. That is why he told us that consistency is the key. Consistency personified. That is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He doesn't waver. And that is why when I see Mazi Simon Ekpa today, I'm happy the way he's going. When I see him, the way he talks, the programs he's carrying out, the information he's doing, the way he's reacting to issues, I feel happy.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you, if you come and stand in the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals. They are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere. We must continue.